Oh my gosh, there's so much stretching, you guys. Ugh, so much stretching. It's so early. Okay. You
Hi.
guys, first off, you need to go and get your loved one a gift of a vacation because it's been a year, you know? It's been we were talking about having positive thoughts during our pre-show. We did that more than actually pre-showed. We talked about how it's been a year. So you should do that. Get your loved one some sort of just get them an escape or something and save $100. Do that through Travel Grace Vacations. You can do that. Go to our ABS. You can find them in our ABS or American Business Spotlight on our website. You can also go to our website, which you should be doing that every single day at chicksontheright.com. But they're in our American Business Spotlight. But yes, do that. Give it a loved one a vacation or plan your post-holiday escape because you know you're going to be around family. It drives you crazy. Save $100 on all travel scheduled through 12/31/04. Is that right? 24. 04?
Oh yeah, it should be 24. I'm
24.
sorry.
I was
Man,
like, are we
that
living in
was
2004? Because it should be 2024. Yeah, you
yeah,
can do
that
it.
was supposed to be 24.
Yeah, I was just gonna make sure that we were in the right year because that's
That I can't believe I
2024.
did
Can you
that.
believe
Let
it's
me
gonna
just
be
redo it. There we go.
2024 with Travel Grace Vacations. That's
Yeah,
right.
so that's that
She was
through
thinking
next
of
December, you can save
next year.
$100.
Right, 2024, you can do
Yeah.
that and
So if you're
find
not
them.
coming to Costa Rica, go
That's
somewhere
right.
else.
Yeah, exactly.
We're
Get
going to
yourself a
Costa
good
Rica.
vacation and go to our website, chicksontheright.com. Do it.
Hope everybody's been appropriately boned this morning. I don't think today's show is going to go quite as long as yesterday's. Yesterday's
It's
was
a 2-hour extravaganza.
that was a
yesterday.
long show. I know we
But
do
listen,
match today, Jennifer. We do.
we
We
didn't-
totally didn't plan it.
We didn't mean to. I got on and she was like, ha, ha.
And message to everybody, speaking of positivity,
She's seriously all about the be happy today. Yeah.
do it.
Mhm.
It's a choice. Okay, before we get to videos, let's talk about some interesting little headline tidbits, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
First of all, can I just remind everybody how ridiculous our culture is that we constantly reward terrible behavior? Why do we do this as a society?
Yeah, Kardashians.
Well, they're like always the best example.
Cash me outside. How about that?
Yes, and that's another example.
Mm-hmm.
But here's yet another. Remember the whole college admissions scandal?
Yes.
With Lori Loughlin, who I believe served time, a little bit of time, for her participation, and her daughter, Jade. I don't even remember what school like they frauded their way into.
I think it was USC.
Okay. So, obviously this is not a family that should be held up in any way, or a family that like sponsors of any kind should be throwing money behind. And yet Lori Loughlin and her daughter are now participating in a brand new ad campaign for Steve Madden shoes. So they're like posing together with their like Steve Madden boots. And I look at this and I'm just like, why? Why out of all the people in the United States do you choose them to model your shoes? You know what I mean? I just don't get it. I just don't get it.
I don't. Well, because America. This is what we do.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why we do it.
Cash them outside. How about that?
Cash them outside. That's right.
Cash them outside. Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, Coach Bob Knight has passed away. If you haven't heard, legendary IU basketball coach Bob Knight, chair thrower extraordinaire.
He is throwing chairs in heaven. He's throwing all the chairs.
Passed away at the ripe old age of 83. And it's like 2 days ago, I think I saw an article or a headline at least about the fact that he was not, his health was failing. And so I was like, oh, that's too bad. And he's not long for this world.
I didn't know he was sick or anything like that. And I totally forgot he coached at Texas Tech. I forgot.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, he came here and coached for several years. Forgot completely about that.
Yeah.
Until yesterday when I saw that he had passed away.
That's right.
I liked Bobby Knight. He was
grumpy
and he threw chairs, and I can respect that. I really like that about him.
I know.
Some people hated it. I liked it.
No, I have a lot of affection for
Mhm.
him, and so
I
that
I do
was
I do
that was
too.
sad to hear.
Mhm.
RIP. The migrant caravan that we talked about yesterday that's coming from Mexico is now grown to 7,000 people.
It's
So
swelled, if you will.
people are joining.
Mhm. Swelling.
And
Right.
a bunch of Chinese influencers are apparently doing TikToks and other things about like coaching people how to do it,
That's neat.
how to join the caravan. And in fact, in the past 12 months, there have been 24,000 Chinese illegals that have come over. So we've got them
And
from everywhere, you guys. It's not
what
good.
is going on? Close the border.
Right?
God, this is not brain surgery. And then Kamala was tasked to do that. She failed at that, and now they're like, "Let's put her on AI."
Right.
God, this administration is such a disgrace.
It's just, yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
Also, interesting not survey, polls came out, I guess surveys, about how RFK Jr. is impacting this presidential race. And so it was a Quinnipiac poll that shows that when it's just Biden and Trump head to head, Biden beats Trump by 1 point. And when you throw RFK Jr. into the mix, Biden then beats Trump by 3. So RFK's presence in this race seems to be right now hurting Trump more than
Problematic.
Biden. And apparently, according to data from the RFK Jr. campaign, RFK Jr., is getting more donations from former GOP donors than former Democrat donors. So
Can we
Biden's
just
going to win
not?
again,
Oh my god, this cannot happen.
or Newsom, or whoever it ends up being instead of Biden. So
Yeah, how's
anyway,
your
that
positivity working for you? How's that working out? How's that whole law of attraction thing going for you this morning, Mark? Yeah,
I'm still trying.
Miss
I'm still
Positive
trying.
Can. It's like we're what? We're 7 minutes in. How's that going? Yeah. Uh-huh.
I'm gonna turn that frown upside down, and I'm
Mhm.
just gonna think positively about
Woo! Yeah,
the right person becoming president of the United
right.
States. Take
Yeah.
that as you will.
Mhm.
I'm
Okay.
putting that out into the universe. I'm sending it out there
Send it
right
out.
now.
Send it out. It's gonna get smacked back by a big this gigantic tennis racket just smacks it right back at you. Yeah, named RFK. It's like,
Oh my gosh.
okay. All right.
Also, while the markets are reacting to the fact that there will be no raise in the interest rates at the moment, so the Fed announced yesterday that they're going to hold steady. And while the markets figure out what they're going to do to that, it's always a good time for you to figure out what you're doing to make sure that you are mitigating risk to your financial portfolios. And there's no one better to help you to mitigate that risk than Zach Abraham at our friends at Bulwark Capital Management. So we each had our calls, like our individual calls with Zach to kind of walk through our own financial portfolios and figure out where we might have gaps, what we might do better, how he can help us manage all that. He is so knowledgeable and so helpful. And you can also get that same kind of consultation. You can visit knowyourriskradio.com, or you can call 866-779-RISK, and you can get a free copy of Zach's Common Sense Investing Guide. Investment advisory services are offered through Trek Financial LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. He is amazing, and that's why we talk to him every couple weeks for our every other week Sunday show, because he kind of gives us a rundown of what's happening in the markets and the world of finance right at that moment. So if you're not listening to that, make sure you are, and check him out at knowyourriskradio.com. Thank you, Mariana, for that super sticker. Very much appreciate that. All right, so let's get to sort of the Israel update and get through that, like all the bad stuff, right? Like we're going to get through that first, and then we'll do other things throughout the show. So people keep continuing to say ceasefire, ceasefire. We're so worried about Palestinian civilians, and this is awful, and Israel is the devil, essentially. And people continue to forget now that there's been some daylight between the events of October 7th and now, it's like the novelty has worn off. And so now everybody's mad at Israel and they don't understand Israel's mission. And I don't know what more people need to see or hear than the words that come directly out of the faces of the leaders of Hamas. And so for those folks who are listening and not watching, I'll read through the subtitles as this monster is talking. We must remove that country because it constitutes a security, military, and political catastrophe to the Arab and Islamic nation, and it must be finished. We're not ashamed to say this with full force. We must teach Israel a lesson, and we will do it again and again. The Al-Aqsa flood is just the first time, and there will be a second, third, and fourth because we have the determination, resolve, and capabilities to fight. Will we have to pay a price? Yes, and we're ready to pay it. We're called a nation of martyrs, and we're proud to sacrifice martyrs. We don't want to harm civilians, but there were complications on the ground, and there was a party in the area with civilian population.
Okay.
It was a large area across 40 kilometers. The occupation must come to an end. I'm talking about all the Palestinian lands. And does that mean the annihilation of Israel? Yes, of course. The existence of Israel is illogical. It's what causes all the pain, blood, and tears. It's Israel, not us. We're the victims of the occupation, period. Nobody should blame us for the things we do. October 10th, 7th, 10th, October 1,000,000th, everything we do is justified.
What is up with his mohawk? Like he's got I
think it's a scar. Or like a mark of some sort.
Is that okay? I'm sorry. Then I didn't know what that was. Like
maybe it was like a weird hairline.
I thought it was a forehead mohawk going on there. I didn't know what was going on. Anyways, listen. When people tell you who they are, believe them. Why can't people just believe this guy? And so he wants to completely destroy Israel and everybody in it, right? Just like So we're next.
And he's saying out loud, we're going to keep doing this again and again and again.
And again and again.
So when Israel says we have to eliminate Hamas, that's why. And they cannot stop until it's done.
Yeah. And furthermore, again, I'll say this again and again and again. When they're done with Israel, this guy wants to destroy Israel. We're next. You're next. Just believe this guy.
Right. There's no reason not to.
Yeah, I mean, why is this so hard for people to understand? And then they'll defend it. They'll defend the evil. They'll defend the terrorism. They'll defend it. He is evil, period.
Yeah. That's why anytime anybody is like, ceasefire, I'm like,
why?
What are you saying? Like, how does that make any sense? There was a ceasefire. It was called every day before October 7th. That's when there was no fire. And the people that cause the firing is Hamas.
Yeah.
They have to be eradicated.
Carrie makes a great point that the mainstream media is not showing this. Of course they're not showing it. I mean, the MSM will never just play that guy saying, I want to destroy Israel and everything in it. And we'll stop at nothing. The martyrs, of course we have martyrs. My people don't matter. It's all about destroying Israel. That's what it's about.
And they're very clear about it.
Yeah, they're clear about it.
Very clear. Mm-hmm. Not the kind of clear that KJP talks about.
Yeah.
The real kind of clear.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, their Hamas leadership is kind of all over the place when it comes to owning up to or admitting that there were even Israeli civilians targeted or killed. I mean, listen to the all over the placeness of this.
Are you really expecting us to believe that you have not killed civilians?
No, we don't have killed any civilians.
Do you accept now that your group murdered civilians on an horrendous scale?
You cannot prove that they were killed by Palestinians.
No, Dr. Naim.
And how did you feel when you watched that? Your own fighters, your own people doing that to innocent civilians. Were you ashamed?
No, I feel proud that our Palestinian people for 75 years under Israeli occupation did not surrender, did not raise the white flag and still fighting Israel.
I mean,
and all these guys are being interviewed in Qatar, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
In these really nice ritzy hotels. And they're eating caviar, drinking the finest of wines. Yeah, they're just hanging out, chilling with their concubines. Yeah. They're having a great time. Yeah,
it's just it's infuriating. And the one of them that we just saw, I don't even remember. There's so many that they still need to kill. One of them was also asked directly, if you care about the Palestinian citizens, the citizens that you guys are in charge of, why don't you build bomb shelters for them? If you're concerned about attacks, why don't you build bomb shelters for them to hide in when there are these conflicts with Israel? And here is what they said. I may have to do another translation. Many people are asking, since you've built 500 kilometers of tunnels, why haven't you built bomb shelters where civilians can hide during the bombardments? We've built tunnels because we have no other way of protecting ourselves from being targeted and killed. These tunnels are meant to protect us from the airplanes. We're fighting from inside the tunnels. Everybody knows that 75% of the people in the Gaza Strip are refugees. And it is the responsibility of the UN to protect them, according to the Geneva Conventions. It's the responsibility of the occupation to provide them with all the services as long as they're under occupation. Can you even believe that?
It's the UN's responsibility. Meanwhile, they've built all of these tunnels like for themselves to like be under, and then for them to take hostages.
Yeah. And Israel is not targeting them. When they are not attacked, Israel's not going out looking for war.
Exactly.
My God. It's just, oh my gosh.
They're so full of crap.
I know.
Just so full of crap.
C Noons, thank you. Christine says, happy birthday to one of the original tailgaters, Kim Holtzman. We love our COTR family. Happy birthday, Kim.
Happy birthday.
And Rachel Grupp, thank you. Rachel says, I read yesterday that calling for ceasefire is like feeding the alligator, hoping that it will eat you last. That is a great way to put it.
Fantastic.
Yes. And I know you guys get mad when I give props to John Kirby, but I got to give him some more props because he pushed back on a reporter who's, worried about why we're not taking more responsibility, I guess, about the civilian lives and the Palestinian civilian lives that are being lost due to Israel's defense of itself. And he pushes back, and he's right.
Have Americans and foreign nationals still been unable to get out of Gaza, even though aid trucks have been going in? Beyond putting the blame on Hamas, what more can you say about what's going on here and what the progress is?
How about if I just put the blame on Hamas? I mean, Secretary Blinken talked about this in his hearing this morning. I mean, they are putting obstacles up to allow us to get folks out. It's not Israel. It's not Egypt. It's not places like Jordan. The Hamas has been making it difficult to do this.
Why don't we just cut them off? I mean, listen, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be crude about the aid trucks. I know everybody wants to be benevolent. I know we are who we are as a country, and everybody's like, we got to give them aid. Blah. Why? Why do we have to do that? Why do we always have to be the good guys? Why do we have to provide? Why do we have to do that? Just cut them off entirely. Cut everybody off. Is that, I know people are going to take this out of context and be like, Daisy's awful. She's a terrible human being. But why? Why do we have to do that? Why do we always have to send aid to everybody? If it's seriously, let somebody else do it.
I mean, I don't know if it's just us. I would hope that it's all a whole United Nations effort.
Right. We're not the only country in the world. Let somebody else do it. I mean, we always help everybody. Why? Let somebody else send the aid for once. And why does it have to be? Everybody's like, rules of war. Like, why do we always have to be the people to do this? So, it's like at some point, I don't know. People are going to get really mad at me for saying, I know people are pissed off, but let somebody else do it. I'm just,
Leah, thank you. Leah says, today is my 29th anniversary of making Aliyah to Israel. Look at that. 29 years. Good for you. Good for you. Remember the other day when we played that really good video from an Arab guy, and it was just really, really powerful. And then everybody afterwards was like, "What's his name?" And I had no idea because I just saw him on the Twitter machine or the X machine or whatever you call it now. And he was back. I saw him, and now I know his name, so I can share it with you. It is Luai Ahmed. The first name is spelled Luai, and then it's Ahmed. And here he is back with another fantastic message.
To those raising the Palestinian flag, where were you when ISIS was launched in the name of Islam and beheaded tens of thousands of Arabs in Libya, Syria, and Iraq? Why didn't you take it to the streets and raise their flags and condemn the terror and call for a ceasefire? Where were you when Arab dictators and terrorists killed hundreds of thousands of Arabs in Syria and Libya? Why didn't you take it to the streets then and raise the Syrian and Libyan flags and condemn the terror and call for a ceasefire? Where were you in the last decade when Saudi Arabia, backed by other Arab countries, killed and starved out more than 400,000 Yemenis, my country? I didn't see any of you take to the streets or raise the Yemeni flag or condemn the terror or call for a ceasefire. This calls for some self-reflection. When millions of Arab world upside down. Why is that? Why were you so silent then, but so loud now? Can it be that you are finally raising a flag and creating chaos because you only hate that the perpetrators are Jews? Because you obviously don't care when millions of Arabs are killed by Arabs? Can it be that you storming the streets is just you venting out your hatred towards Jews? The same hatred that we learned by our mosques and schools? You often speak of numbers and proportionality, but by the rules of proportionality, you should not be raising the Palestinian flag, unless there's another agenda at play. Jew hatred, or as I like to call it, hatred.
Yeah.
Bingo.
He has a great point. Yeah, really great point. And so much of what we're seeing across the world right now is just simple Jew hatred. That's what it is. It's anti-Semitism. That's
exactly what it is.
We're seeing so much of it in our country. Oh my God.
And so much of it is very, I hate to use the leftist woke term, but it's microaggressive, where it's under the radar to the point where you're just like, I know what you're doing and you're not getting away with it. And an example of that is just the way there's so many members of the media that when they question, a Netanyahu spokesperson, for example, the conversation is never about why Israel is fighting back right now, what this fight is about. It's always like, well, are you dealing with how many people are you killing in Palestine? It's so insidious. And Caitlin Collins talking to Bibi's spokesperson, perfect example of this. And he pushes back appropriately.
But do you know how many were killed?
I can't tell you exactly because I don't know.
What about an estimate?
Of course, the numbers that come out from the Hamas-controlled Ministry of Health are of course, high, but we don't believe them.
So what number do you
If you look at those
believe, Mr.
statistics, we've
Ambassador?
never hit a single terrorist. We only hit civilians. That's, of course,
God, I hate her face.
I know.
You don't believe their number. I obviously understand why it's controlled by Hamas that's putting out these figures, but what number? I haven't heard a number from Israel. What number
we don't have it. We can't give you a precise number, and I don't want to give a number irresponsibly. I can say the following. Most of the civilians left that location before we struck. I'm not denying there are a few there. But we've hit a primary Hamas target. We've taken out a Hamas leader. We've taken out many, many Hamas fighters. That was the goal of our operation. And casualties, if there were civilian casualties, surely that has to be based on Hamas, because the Geneva Convention is clear. If a combatant turns a civilian area into a war zone, in other words, if he's placed his military machine inside a civilian neighborhood, he has in fact endangered the civilians, because according to the Geneva Convention, the additional protocol, Article 13,
I understand
by doing so, he's made it a legitimate target. Now, even though we have a legal right to do so, under the laws of war, to attack a legitimate Hamas target, we still made an effort, told all the civilians, please vacate the location. And I'm happy to tell you that the overwhelming majority of Gaza civilians in that location have in fact left.
Yeah,
The number of civilians
I will
left there is
say,
small.
Ambassador,
We don't want to hurt them.
I will say, Ambassador, a lot of them feel like they don't have places to go, certainly not safe places.
Okay, well then tell it to Hamas. Oh my God.
Well, then maybe you should take them in.
Right.
RBF lady, take them in.
Don't give her any ideas because so many people want them to come here.
Yeah, but maybe they should go to her house.
Right.
You know? Oh, but she can't have that. She wants them to go someplace else in the United States. Maybe they should go into her living room. That's exactly what I'm thinking is her living room.
Her
Lord.
face.
Oh my God.
is
It's just,
mean.
it's so offensive to me. And then what is this? Like right here, the upturned corners. It's like, it's so unnatural, all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's so angry. She's
so
mean.
angry.
Yeah.
So mean. This idea that that Israel is hitting a refugee camp in the middle of Gaza is also up for debate. And my favorite, Jonathan Conricus, set a reporter straight about this idea that Israel is targeting refugee camps. And
Conricus, to the point, though, about wanting them to leave, I mean, these are 100,000 people in a refugee camp. By definition, they lack resources.
Shaking his head.
Where were people like that supposed to go? Was it even reasonable to tell them to go? I mean, they don't have anything to begin with.
No, that is unfortunately not accurate at all. And if you let me, I'd like to explain why. If you look at the footage that you're showing, you don't see tents. This isn't some makeshift refugee camp. These are permanent dwellings of Palestinians living in a Palestinian-controlled area under Palestinian rule. These aren't refugees no more than my grandparents are refugees who came from Poland and Morocco in 1948. This is the time scope that we're talking about. These aren't refugees, and it's not a refugee camp any more than half of the population in modern Israel are refugees of the expulsion from Arab countries in 1948. So, yes.
Colonel,
I just love him so much.
Right? I do too.
That guy has put up with so much shit. He's just like, I'm tired of it, lady. I'm tired of your narrative. And it's here comes your spanking. Like he is so over it. And I just love that about him. He's just educating all over the place.
And he's so effective at being the spokesperson. So effective. I just adore him. Shelly, thank you. Shelly says, much like BLM not calling out all the black on black murders, they only call out the ones that they hate. Anti-Semitism is a convenient catalyst. Hitler used it very effectively. The Arab world are following that model.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's not just the Arab world. There are people here in our country that are doing it right now, surprisingly. I mean, it's staggering how we're seeing it happen in our country. I'm appalled and disgusted by it.
Curio23, thank you. Curio says Israel has compulsory service, so technically all Israeli citizens are in the military. I mean, I know that they do serve like for 2 years or whatever, but I mean,
it's 3.
Is it 3? Okay. Yeah. But I mean, they're not forever in the military. Are they always on reserve? Probably, right? Like a certain age group?
I guess. I would imagine that they are. Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So it's time to move on to some other things. But obviously, there's a but that I have to remind everybody about. And that's to make sure you're getting your fruits and veggies every day. And if you're not, because by the way, Mayo Clinic says that you need 5 servings of fruits and veggies every single day. That's very, very difficult to get in. And if you're not, here's your cheat code right here. It's Field of Greens, delicious green powder that you just pour into a glass of water, shake it up, and you've got the yummiest way of getting fruits and veggies into your body, well absorbed. It is delicious. And that is my favorite part, is that it's so freaking yummy. So, and by the way, unlike the other green powders out there, every single vegetable in Field of Greens is medically selected by doctors to support your vital organs like your heart, your lungs, your kidneys, your immune system. And that's really important considering that we're like smack dab in the middle or approaching flu and COVID and God knows what else season. So if you want to try it and you want to get a discount, you can get 15% off your first order and another 10% off if you decide to subscribe for a recurring order. It's yummy. Field of Greens. You just need to go to fogchicks.com. That's FOG chicks.com. I should have put the little banner up. Why didn't I do that? Let me do that right now. Yeah. So fogchicks.com. Use promo code chicks. That'll get you your 15% off the first order plus an additional 10% off when you subscribe. Fogchicks.com. Okay, let's move on to something else, because if you can imagine in this heightened, like hateful attitude of the world towards Jews right now, this White House is so freaking tone deaf that they decided that what they should do yesterday is this.
Today, I am proud to announce the Biden-Harris administration will develop our nation's first national strategy to counter Islamophobia.
Oh my God.
This strategy will be a comprehensive and detailed plan to protect Muslims and those perceived to be Muslim from hate, bigotry, and violence, and to address the concern that some government policies may discriminate against Muslims. For example, the so-called Muslim ban,
there was never
President Biden revoked on our first day in office. So here's the bottom line. In America, no one should be made to fight hate alone.
Oh my God.
And in this moment, then, let us all clearly say, a harm against any one of us is a harm against all of us.
What is wrong? These people, I just, oh my God, read the room. I can't. and I'm assuming that they are. And it's like, this is almost like it's on purpose. They're doing this. It's unbelievable. So Jews make up 2.4% of the US population. They are targets of 60% of the hate crimes in this country. And that is, I would imagine that was before everything that we've seen over the past couple weeks. So imagine that.
And it's way worse. I mean, it's obviously getting worse and
obviously worse. Yeah. Imagine how you would feel. And I'm sure there are lots of Jews here that are in our comment section.
Her husband is a Jew.
Well, is he though? Is he like a Jew or is he like a Bernie Sanders Jew? You know what I mean?
I
imagine though how you would feel if you were Jewish and you were watching that. So the White House is going to protect Muslims right now?
Well, to be fair, I guess, like earlier in the same little speech of hers, she said that however long ago, whether it was a year ago, whatever, they set up a similar thing for specifically to fight anti-Semitism. So I guess she feels like that work is done. And now they need to move on to the next best thing.
I don't think we should be fair. I don't think we should be fair at all. Like they're totally not reading the room. Mom.
I know.
They're not. It's outrageous what's going on. I mean, anti-Semitism it's just rampant right now. Like it's unbelievable. We're seeing they have not gotten on a podium and addressed everything that's happening across college campuses. What's happening? I mean, Jews were locked in a building.
Yeah.
I can't. Last week we were just talking about that. And then they have the audacity to get on a stage and be like, we need to really protect Muslims.
Right?
What in the hell is going on in this administration?
Crazy.
It's outrageous. It's beyond crazy. I just can't believe what I'm seeing.
And it's almost like it's like a neener. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it is.
It's so poorly timed that it seems purposefully mean.
Yeah. Yeah. And somebody said they see their voter base. Yeah. I mean, I guess, there's more Muslims than there are Jews, right? It's it's unbelievable.
Meantime, the president of the United States wants you to know that his plan is working. And here is specifically what he said about it. I couldn't believe this.
Folks, Bidenomics is just another way of saying the American dream.
You guys
don't you know that?
You guys live in the dream. You guys all live in the dream out there.
You guys live in that American dream. Thanks to Bidenomics.
You guys doing it?
I mean, what in the hell? So that's what he genuinely thinks, is that his plan, Bidenomics, is helping people achieve the American dream, even though like no one can afford housing anymore.
No.
Most 30-year-olds are living with their parents.
Yeah, they are.
Like everything is bad. And he's like, it's the American dream.
Right. I feel like he doesn't really believe that. And he was reading that. Like reading it poorly because he can barely read at this point. But he was definitely reading it. And he just reads what people tell him to read. He's got these speech writers who are terrible, by the way. They are really bad speech writers. But he's Yeah, he's reading it. And
you made the point earlier that Kamala was supposed to be in charge of the border. Obviously, that's been a colossal failure.
Right.
And now she's been put in charge of AI. So she's pretty excited about this. And she talked about the potential, all the possibilities in a speech earlier this week. And here's part of that.
This is a moment of profound opportunity. The benefits of AI are immense. It could give us the power to fight the climate crisis.
Of course.
Oh my God. Okay. So let's just all ponder this for a second. Okay. So we've got artificial intelligence fighting artificial climate change.
That's great. That's perfect.
That's what's happening in our White House right now. It's all,
and we got
everything,
Kamala in charge of it.
who's basically like an artificial vice president. Right. Everything is artificial, you guys. All of it's artificial. None of it's real. Everything is artificial and not real. Yay!
So there's world leaders now having all these summits about AI, which is so funny to look at them all gathered together on any kind of stage, and they're all old, and you know that they don't even know how to turn computers on, let alone have any idea how AI works.
Right.
And so when you listen to this next clip, because Elon attended one of these summits, when you listen to him talk about AI, then I just want you to be thinking in the back of your mind, Kamala is in charge of this. Kamala is in charge of this.
Yeah.
Here's Elon.
I think AI is one of the biggest threats.
Great.
So, I mean, we are for the first time, we have a situation where there's something that is going to be far smarter than the smartest human. So, we're not stronger or faster than other creatures, but we are more intelligent. And here we are for the first time, really in human history, with something that's going to be far more intelligent than us.
Right.
So it's not clear to me we can actually control such a thing, but I think we can aspire to guide it in a direction that's beneficial to humanity.
Yeah. That's great.
But I do think it's one of the existential risks that we face, and it's potentially the most pressing one. If you look at the time scale and the rate of advancement, I think the summit is timely, and I applaud the Prime Minister for holding it.
Right. Yeah. So
She's
we're
in
going to
charge.
put somebody with the mental IQ of a raccoon on it. That's what we're going to do.
How dare you disparage raccoons in that way?
That's right. That's true, because raccoons have a higher IQ. That's right. That's right. But we're going to put her on it. That's brilliant.
She's on it, you guys. She is all over
She's
it.
on it.
So sleep tight.
Everybody. Woo! Great.
Judy Flackney, thank you. Judy says aid will be held by Hamas and not used for civilians. Precisely. Precisely.
Yeah.
Pamela J. Bennett Walton, thank you. Prayers. So many prayers are needed today. Oh, okay.
Oh my goodness.
Everybody get
on
your
it.
prayer hats on, because Pamela is in need. Christy Addington, thank you. Are they not reading the room? No, they are not. Clearly, they are not.
They can't read.
Claire Byers, thank you very much for the super sticker. And Lori Mazamuro, what a fun name, Mazamuro. Lori says, congratulations to the Texas Rangers on winning their first World Series.
It's just so fantastic, isn't it?
I don't know anything about baseball except for the Savannah Bananas.
Yeah, I'm not even a baseball person, and it really is fantastic. I mean, that's really cool. So yay, Texas. That's
yay,
awesome.
Baseball. Yay, sports. Sports. The last clip in this montage is actually from Greg Gutfeld, where he's also talking about Elon and Elon's purchase of, it's been a year now since Elon took over Twitter. And so they were talking about that. Here it is. Any second now.
Greg, I admire him a lot. He paid $44 billion.
He's amazing. That, by the way, that interview was incredible. There's about 15 minutes of it that is horrible when Musk and Rogan eat an anchovy and pineapple pizza, and they're over the microphone.
That's
it is the most disgusting thing. But this is so good. Just skip over that. Why would the world's richest man, who could do anything, do this? at a great cost to him. It's to save civilization. He realized that from outside, looking at Twitter, that it was a silencing mechanism that was removing dissent for just these pernicious beliefs of people that basically live in 5 square miles, right? And they're projecting these crazy beliefs that have destroyed San Francisco, ultimately around the United States, to create like an open air apocalypse. And you know he's doing it. And he's doing an important thing, because look at the people that he's scaring. You're seeing extinctionalists, which he talks about, people who believe that your thoughts, or just humans in general, need to be controlled and ultimately silenced. If you're against Musk, you're essentially the villain in one of the greatest movies being made right now.
Dana, you have thoughts on this?
Well,
I kind of love that last line.
I know. I love it too. Now, there's a lot of work to be done. Twitter is obviously not perfect because they're blocking us from searches.
Yeah, but it was way worse. I hated Twitter before. You remember how much I hated Twitter? And now I kind of love it. I mean, I love getting out there, and I get a lot of news there, and it's an open forum now. Like, it's a kind of a free for all, and you really can get information out there now, whereas before it was very suppressed. So I feel like the highways are open. Like, it's not congested traffic and things are shut down. It really is open. Like, I do enjoy it now.
There are some problems. Like, there's a lot of people that are the favorites who are getting paid handsomely for their content. And so people like the Krasenstein brothers are constantly showing up in your For You section, which is awful. And then there's people ostensibly on our side of the aisle, like Jackson Hinkle, who I cannot understand why people follow him. Almost everything he posts is false, almost everything. And he's doing it just for engagement. And then people like me who hate that, I don't comment, but there's a lot of people who do hate it, who will comment, who will give him more engagement as a result. And he just keeps doing it. So people are getting rewarded for terrible behavior on the Twitter platform, which is unfortunate. So there's still some improvements that could be made, but yeah, it's way better than it was before.
Oh my God, way better. Exponentially. Yeah.
If you're wondering what's going on in the whole investigation by the House, by Comer's investigatory committee, for lack of a better word, I don't know what the name of the committee is. He released a video yesterday giving an update about where they are, because now they're starting to dig deep into the bank records of the Biden family, and they're uncovering a lot. And usually these videos go on a little bit too long, and it gets confusing, and I'm just like, just report back when you're actually going to do something about this. But it is feeling like they are getting closer to some super important evidence. And the way that James Comer approached the evidence in this particular video, I thought was really easy to understand, really easy charts to help follow the money and see just how egregious Biden has been. Check this out.
Remember when Joe Biden told the American people that his son didn't make any money in China?
My son has not made money in terms of this thing about, what are you talking about, China?
Well, not only did he lie about his son Hunter making money in China, but it also turns out that $40,000 in laundered China money landed in Joe Biden's bank account in the form of a personal check. And the Oversight Committee has it. Here's how Joe Biden benefited from his family's shady deal with CEFC, a Chinese Communist Party-linked company. It all began with a shakedown in the summer of 2017. When Hunter Biden sent a message to his CEFC associate demanding a $10 million capital payment. As Hunter Biden extorted this associate, Hunter claimed he was sitting with his father and that the Biden network would turn on his associate if he didn't pony up the money. The extortion scheme worked. Days later, $5 million flowed in from a Chinese affiliate of CEFC. Over the following 3 weeks, Biden family members made a series of complicated financial transactions to hide the source of the China money. Here's how that happened. First, Northern International Capital, a Chinese company associated with CEFC, wired $5 million to Hudson West 3, a joint venture established by Hunter Biden and a CEFC associate. Then Hudson West 3 sent $400,000 to an entity owned and controlled by Hunter Biden. Next, Hunter Biden wired $150,000 to Lionhall Group, a company owned by James and Sarah Biden. Sarah Biden then withdrew $50,000 in cash from Lionhall Group. Later the same day, she deposited it into her and James Biden's personal checking account.
Unreal.
A few days later, Sarah Biden cut a check to Joe Biden for $40,000. The memo line of the check said loan repayment. Like the payment to Joe from AmeriCorps funds, it's certainly plausible that this payment where James and Sarah used funds from China was indeed a loan payment to Joe. But even if this $40,000 check was a loan repayment from James Biden, it still shows how Joe benefited from his family cashing in on his name.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean,
it's so shady. God.
It's all money laundering. Yeah. But I mean, listen, in the words of Sean Connery in The Untouchables, what are you prepared to do?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, this is the thing. So we've seen this time and time again. They have all the stuff. I see the fancy graphs. It's great. We understand how this is. This is freaking money laundering. What are you prepared to do?
And how much more do you need to do something?
I'm sick of seeing this crap. I'm sick of seeing it. I'm sick of hearing it. It's like, I get it. All right. You got all the stuff. Go do something about it.
Well, I'm hoping now that there's a new speaker, maybe they finally can. I hope. I don't know, but that's my hope.
Do the things.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
And speaking of Democrat criminals, we also have Senator Menendez, who continues to serve as senator, even though he's like basically been indicted for dealing with foreign governments and dealing with it like at the risk of our national security. And not only is he still serving as senator, he's still attending secure classified briefings. So a reporter caught up to him and tried to ask him about that. And this is what he said.
Able to go to the last classified briefing because Schumer didn't let you. Why are you going to this classified briefing?
First of all, you're wrong about that. He didn't say you can't go, and he didn't not let me. So that's just the wrong assumption.
I'm so sorry, sir. So why did you go to this classified briefing?
Because getting an update on Ukraine is something that's worthy as we consider the supplemental.
But you're being accused of aiding a foreign government. Why is that appropriate for you to go to a classified briefing?
You know, Manu, I know you got to make news. Bottom line is, I'm a United States Senator. I have my security credentials, and an accusation is just that. It's not proof of anything.
God, these people are just so arrogant. Like,
right?
I have more of a right to go to that than he does.
Exactly.
I should just show up and be like, bottom line is I pay taxes and I should go to this. I mean, it's unbelievable. He's so arrogant.
Yeah. So arrogant.
God.
So we'll close out this particular montage with something good, shall we?
Let's do
Everybody needs
so
some
positive,
Senator Kennedy in their lives.
Here we go.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so Senator Kennedy wanted to give his thoughts about the new speaker, Mike Johnson, and he had lovely things to say about him. Here he is.
You'd be able to work with the new. Are you both Louisianans?
Yeah, Mike's a great guy.
Or is that you think that would help?
I'm delighted. He's whip smart. He's humble. He's consistent while being self-confident. Can he do president? He does great impersonations. He does. He does great impersonations. And let me tell you something. He's a nice guy. If you don't like Mike Johnson, you don't like border collies or golden retrievers. He's just a really nice guy.
I hope there's a little pit bull in him, though.
I feel like there is. We've seen him in the committee hearings where he really shines.
So I hope there's a little bit of that in him because
I think
because I like golden retrievers and border collies too, but a golden retriever isn't going to attack me. You know what I mean? They're going to roll on the floor and be like, "Oh, rub my belly." So a little bit of bite. I want some bite in that guy.
He's got it. He's got the bite. We've seen it.
I think so, but yeah.
Yeah. Reminder that if you have not seen the movie After Death yet, it, by the way, did fourth. It was fourth best at the box office on its opening weekend, which is good, but we'd like it to be a little bit better. We think everybody should see the movie After Death. It's so cool. And they've got that whole pay it forward program again at angel.com/chicks, where you can get your tickets. You can buy extra tickets for people who cannot afford it otherwise. So that whole pay it forward program is still intact, and you can get to it at angel.com/chicks. We are going to be doing our deep dive with one of the doctors, the cardiologist specifically. If you've seen it, you know who we're talking about. We're going to be doing our deep dive for this weekend with him, and that's super exciting. We can't wait to talk to him. For those of you who have not seen a trailer, a second one has come out. We'll show a piece of that so you can get excited about the content of this movie. Here it is.
What I've tried to do is put data out there that's been scientifically, rigorously collected.
What really convinced me is that when they would come back, they actually saw what was going on in the room, even though they were unconscious.
She's describing stuff that she just shouldn't know. The whole experience is very calm.
Music has been described so beautiful that they say they've never heard anything like it.
Some people don't want to come back.
Though they lose their fear of death. Not every near-death experience is a good one.
I sank into a pit of despair and hopelessness that I can't begin to describe.
I say, God, if you really exist, I need your help.
So I called out to him.
Heaven is light, God is light. You realize that you are not a body.
It looks so good. It's so good.
It's so good, you guys. It's just so awesome. Mm-hmm.
If you haven't seen it, see it for real. You're going to like it. Okay. So there was a viral video that was going around yesterday on social media of a New Yorker. What's the word? Like the stereotypical New Yorker, right? This dude who found some a-holes trying to rip down those posters of the kidnapped people that are trapped in Gaza. And you know how this has been a constant thing all over the country, is that people are ripping down these posters. It's unthinkable why they're doing it, but they're doing it. And so this New Yorker basically just got all up in one of those polls, and he was like not letting it happen. And so here's a little bit of what happened.
You don't even know why you birthday. Why are you taking that? You act like no, don't touch me! Don't fucking touch me! No, don't touch me! No, don't touch me! I don't give a fuck! Get the fuck out of here! You're a scumbag! That is correct. What are you fucking touching me for? What are you touching me for? You're touching me?
That's a New Yorker. Right? Right. New Yorker dude.
Fucking hands on me! Hey, guys! We're taking a picture, right?
Why does he have his mouth covered? Why does he?
Exactly.
Why?
That's a great question.
Is he Antifa? What's going on with that guy?
Ultimately, cops came and they detained that guy, not the New Yorker, but the guy that was trying to rip down the posters. Yeah. And so later, there was a reporter that caught up with that New Yorker to ask him, because a lot of people were like, that guy's a hero. This is what needs to happen more. And here is what he said.
This is how the superstars. No, go ahead. Just sit there and just told me.
No, I'm not a superstar. I'm just a regular guy who didn't like what I saw, and it shouldn't be celebrated what I did. It should be normal. Everyone should react like that. This shouldn't be a news story because someone doesn't like posters of murdered children and kidnapped children being taken down. This should be the norm, not the exception. What that guy was doing should be the exception. Anyway, that's it.
Thank you. Listen, let me shake your hands, guys. Thank you. Let me see me all the time. Yeah. Thank you.
Remember when this was the norm? Like, remember when we didn't have to like find these guys and shake their hands and say this is an anomaly and this is like something that is rare, because that's
his whole point.
Right. This was the norm. This was because, there were dudes. Not saying that there aren't still dudes out there, because I'm sure there are plenty of them in the comments section here. But I miss dudes. I miss dudes being the norm, men being men. We've talked about this a lot. We've done this in deep dives where, real men being real men. Mm-hmm. And that's something to be celebrated. So we need to celebrate
not toxic.
That. Right.
Not toxic.
You're not toxic. Real men need to be celebrated. And they need to come out more, and we need to applaud them. as often as possible, because it's ridiculous that we have to like say that this is like rare, because I hate that it's rare. You know,
I know.
It's like dudes are awesome. We love dudes.
Real dudes.
Right.
Real dudes. I'm very, very excited to share with you that our friend Ami Kozak, who we had on a deep dive a couple weeks ago, and if you did not listen to that, you are missing out. It was phenomenal. He has a new impression that he's doing, and it's of AOC.
Oh my God.
And it's glorious, you guys. Check this out.
Congresswoman Cortez, thank you for being here. How do you assess the current crisis in the Middle East and particularly Israel's response? What's your reaction to that?
Right. So obviously there needs to be contextualization and de-escalation of what's going on in the region as such. You know, we all know Israel has defensification capabilities that they're going to use.
Yes.
But there's also modification when exerting retaliation and retalianization, more specifically.
Right.
As such, and humanitarianization.
That was a good one.
That has to be considered. Obviously, we're also seeing gentrification as well. So there needs to be remediation. There needs to be a realization.
That was a good one too.
And not this deliberate distractification of what we're seeing in the region.
One more?
Reparation.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. That's a good one. Yes. Gosh, she's such an idiot. I love that. That was fantastic.
I just love him so much.
It was so good. Really
so
good.
There's a lot of these kids on college campuses, as we know, who are like, free Palestine. And I loved that some guy went around with a petition asking people to sign, showing support for Hamas and free Palestine. And so he gets his little clipboard and he's like, will you sign this petition saying that you support Hamas and you want free Palestine? They're like, yes, absolutely. I'm so about that. And then he says, well, I'm going to need to read you this disclaimer about what it is that you're actually signing. Is that okay? And they're like, yeah, I should know what I'm signing.
Totally.
And then that's when things take a little bit of a turn.
Doing a quick petition to help Hamas free Palestine.
Yeah.
Oh, you're all in? All right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're in? Easily. I just have to read terms and conditions just so you know what you're signing. Okay. By supporting Hamas freeing Palestine, you agree to the following. You agree that every Jew, Christian, and non-Muslim in the world must be slaughtered.
I don't know about that one.
You endorse making homosexuality punishable by jail or death.
Oh, no.
What?
You don't agree with that? You believe Iran should use Palestinians as puppets to spread radical jihad and destroy the West? No?
No.
I'm glad I read the terms and agreements. You support strict Sharia law, which bans women from showing their knees, hair, playing sports in public, not being able to travel without a man's permission.
I'm sorry.
Not interested? Okay.
What?
You want a terrorist group that beheads babies and rapes girls to replace only democracy in the Middle East?
Not sure that's something to support.
So if I sign, I agree with this.
Yes. Baby, no. No? Okay.
Oh, no. Thank you.
No.
I don't support any of these two things that you just read to me, so then I won't be able to sign this then.
That's fair. Yeah, thanks for not signing. Yeah, all right.
Wait, what's a Sharia? What? What is that?
I mean, right? They have no idea what they're talking about.
Where's Palestine? I was just here for the free stuff. I thought there were going to be snacks. God, these people are dumbasses.
And I love it when they get exposed like that. I just love
women aren't treated well?
What? Queers for Palestine.
Hey! They love LGBT people, right? Oh my God.
Anyway, I just love that. Do you I have never, not when she was on Fox and Friends, not ever, have I ever liked Gretchen Carlson. I cannot.
It's been
a
long-standing loathing.
I have hated her for as long as I can remember, and I know I'm supposed to be projecting positivity and good energy out into the world, but
it's the pageant thing, isn't it? It's the pageant thing.
I didn't, when I first started not liking her, I didn't even know that she was a pageant person.
Yeah, but then when you found out she did pageants, you were like, oh, that's it, nail in the coffin. That's it right
It
there.
didn't help. It did
You
not
just
help.
don't-
I will say that.
You don't like
But
that crap.
I cannot stand her. And I mean, she's such a smug, insufferable woman. And she put out a video yesterday where she tagged Shannon Watts. So immediately I'm irritated. And just, notice that first of all, it's a cloudy day and yet she's wearing her like cool shades. And
her
she's
leather,
talking
her leather coat.
And
she's sitting in front of her like mansion kind of house that she's made from like gouging Fox, you know? She's got a big payout and she's just sitting there. Yeah. She's not really working, but she's
and she's talking about guns and specifically AR-15s. And she's like punching back, I guess, at Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, she is.
And her whole like, I defy you to not have fists form when you watch this.
So you might have seen the news story about my tweet regarding Ben Shapiro and his love of AR-15s. Big round of applause for the clever detectives who pointed out that technically a few ranchers and animal control people did own these guns before 2004. And since we're all big fans of math, here are more numbers that seem relevant. In 1992, AR-15s composed roughly 21 in every 100 firearms made in the U.S. By 2020, almost 1 in 5 guns made here were AR-15s.
That's the same
There are now
math.
more than 20 million AR-15s in people's closets and cabinets. Oh, and there's this. In 2023, there's been 560 mass shootings in our country.
No, there haven't.
We still have 2 months to go. This is not normal. A world where everyone has AR-15s is just a hell of a lot more dangerous than one where we don't.
So this is what I tweeted back.
The 20% and 1 in 5. Okay.
Right.
All right.
This is what I tweeted back. I said, wait, if there are so many millions of ARs in the hands of regular citizens here in the US, why aren't we all dead? Gretchen, you're insufferable. It's not the guns. How many deaths are caused by cars? I'll give you a hint. It's a way bigger number than the number claimed by guns. Where is your smug, holier than thou, obnoxiously self-satisfied video about how a world where everyone has cars is more dangerous? You know it's coming over an open border near you. Terrorism, thanks to this utterly incompetent, evil administration that you likely voted for. When they come for you, how will you protect your family? And I have not gotten an answer to that question.
Well, I mean, she probably has a gated, she probably has a gate around a nice fence. She has a border, if you will, around her giant mansion, I would imagine. And then she believes in open borders, I would imagine, right? I mean, this is the thing. This is what they all believe. Or she probably has some sort of a secure gate at her gated community, with armed guards. It's kind of like Shannon Watts. She uses Bloomberg's armed guards to protect her when she goes out in public. But you guys can't have that. Just her and Bloomberg can have that, because the riffraff aren't allowed to protect themselves. Just rich people, rich elitist people like Shannon Watts, who also, I can't stand her face. I know
she blocked us forever ago, so I don't ever have to see her face.
Are insufferable. Only the elitists can protect themselves, but you can't protect you and your families. Unbelievable. Yep. Yeah.
And did you just see her face? I mean,
yeah.
So smug.
Yeah. I mean, she lives in a gilded cage. Gilded cage. Yeah. But you guys, you minions out there, and 20% isn't the same as 1 in 5. It's not the same.
Such a moron.
Let's do some math.
Since we all like math, I mean,
yeah, we do.
Screw her.
We do, Gretch.
God, I cannot stand her. And no offense to any other Gretchens out there, because I'm sure you're lovely, but that name somehow really fits her. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
like,
especially when you say Gretch.
Yeah,
because
it's her and it's Gretchen Whitmer.
Well, it sounds like you're actually sounds like you're throwing up. Gretch.
It's like
Gretch. Right. It just, I'm getting a hairball out of my Gretch.
I need to find a nice Gretchen, because right now I have such a bad taste in my mouth about the Gretchens that I know of.
It sounds like a dachshund's name. It's what you name.
Yeah,
it's what you name your dachshunds, right? I mean, it's I like dachshunds. It's what you
name.
Is there a
Gretchen out here that's nice? Can you like show yourself?
Gretchen Whitmer.
Oh my God, worst Gretchens ever.
But really, there have been plenty of dachshunds that I've liked who are named Gretchen. Long hair. Okay. It's what you named your long-haired dachshund.
I need to meet a nice one so I can just get rid of this. Like, I just, there was, obviously Halloween was the other day, and we have been known, I think it was last year that we did it, where we were just busy and like or we weren't home or something. But we didn't want the kids that came by to not get something. So we had a bowl of candy and a sign that said, take a couple, right? Like just take a little bit and help yourself. And so you expect, like in before times, before times when the world was normal, we had people that would do exactly what the sign said. They knew other kids were going to come, so they would just take one or two, and then move on their merry way. Cody Tate, who captured his sign because he was watching a baseball game, I think, and he wanted to watch the game and wanted to also make sure that the kids got their treats. So here's what he put in front of his door. There's a sign that says, please take one, help yourself or something, go Rangers, I think is what he was watching. So he's got this, very healthy bowl of candy out there. And here are the vultures that showed up on his Ring camera. These are adults.
Moms. They're moms.
What are you saying to these kids?
Yeah, they're teaching their kids to steal. Teaching their kids to steal. They're vultures. Unbelievable. Yeah.
I'm just so grossed out by that.
I mean, well, we know who they're voting for.
Oh my
It's like,
God.
And people wonder why kids are entitled, horrific brats who want you to pay for their college, right? People wonder. This is why. Look at their parents. Look at the parents.
Yeah.
You know?
Right in front of their kids. I mean, it's just unreal.
Where do you think they learn it from? That's why.
Yeah. But thankfully, a neighbor apparently saw that happening. And so there is still good in the world. And this is what the neighbor did.
God bless him.
So, see? Think about that energy. Keep that energy inside and then project it back out. Because there is still good. There's still good, even in all the bad.
It was an old dude. It was an old dude,
True.
And that dude's kids are grown and in the world, and they're probably good kids. They're good kids. Hopefully they have kids of their own and they don't do that crap that you just saw.
Yeah.
But there's no hope for those kids that you just saw because they have parents like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is the thing, y'all. You gotta, parent. We got some awful parents out there.
Awful parents. Speaking of awful parents, I've got to guess that Harry Sisson has some. You want to talk about your whack?
Yeah, this is my whack. This kid is a paid operative by the DNC. And what I think is whack is that, a lot of people, we talk to you guys every day, and most of you guys are around our age demo. Okay, I would imagine most people that we talk to every day are between the ages of 35 and 65, right?
And up.
And up. We have a demo, a pretty set demo. We do not talk to 20-year-olds for the most part. We don't talk to 15-year-olds.
Unless we're related to them.
Unless we're, yeah. I mean, I have a 13-year-old. And I talk to her about politics. She asked me questions, and I definitely talk to her about politics quite a bit. But yeah, we don't talk to the young kids who are on TikTok every day. We don't talk to the 18-year-olds who are on TikTok every day. And so this is the guy who has a stranglehold on young kids, which is why we always encourage you guys to talk to your kids and your grandkids about politics, because that's who I worry about in every election that we have. I always worry about the 18-year-olds, the 21-year-olds, the 25-year-olds, because man, that's who wins elections. That's who influences elections. And this is the kid that does it. They pay this kid to get on TikTok. And if you don't think they pay him, this is why you're wrong. If
it looks like President Obama is getting ready to help get out the vote.
Harry, why don't you let me handle this one?
You got it.
So I'm about to go out to campaign because the stakes couldn't be higher in this election. We've got climate change on the ballot. We've got gun safety on the ballot. And if we elect more members of Congress who are pro-choice, we can actually reinstitute Roe versus Wade as the law of the land. But it's only going to happen if all of you do your part and get out there and vote. Harry?
Well, thank you, Mr. President. I couldn't have said it better myself. Make sure to visit iwillvote.com today. The link is on my bio, and make a plan to vote.
Anyway, this kid, just, if there's one person that annoys me more than, I mean, he is insufferable, this kid, but he is out there constantly every day pummeling young kids. He pummels them, you guys. It's just constant propaganda from this kid, and they love him. It's him and some other kid. I can't remember his name, but it's like the two of them, and he's constantly like feeding them propaganda from the Democrat Party. So, I mean, they eat this stuff up. They think it's great, and they listen to all the crap, and it's constant stuff about abortion, climate change, and all the stuff that, let's face it, doesn't really matter when it comes to the grand scheme of things, because they don't have to worry about the economy because they're living in their parents' homes, right? And when you're 18, you don't really care about that kind of stuff. You don't care about the actual issues that matter to people like us, because we're living the real lives out here, paying the real bills. But they care about all the other stuff, and they pummel them full of like propaganda. And this is the thing. So make sure that you're talking to your kids about real issues. Make sure you're talking to them about national security. Make sure that you're talking about the economy, things that they're really going to have to think about. And you're counter narrativing people like Harry Sisson, and you're informing them of real issues. Just make sure you're doing that, because these kids are out there hitting them with stuff that the RNC isn't, because Ronna sucks and she has no idea how to PR, and the Democrats do. Just FYI.
Thank you, Robin Zecca. Robin says, what about Santos and Tlaib? They didn't get kicked out last night. I don't know from where. I don't know what that means, but thank you for the super sticker. Kicked out of what exactly? Were they supposed to get kicked out of something?
It'd be great if they were kicked out.
I don't
just
know.
All together.
Just kicked out of the universe. I'm down.
Right.
I'm totally down for that. Ulrika, thank you. Prayers, please. My daughter is non-binary and lives with her dad because she feels unsafe with me for not using her chosen pronouns.
Oh my God.
Healthcare system, school, and her dad are excluding me from her life. Single mom of 3 here. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
She got infected with the
prayers.
WOAT.
You guys send all the prayers.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, Ulrika. That is horrible, but you can count on this community. I can tell you that right now.
Totally.
Before we get to talks, someone sent this to me on Twitter, and they said it reminded them of me, and I loved it. So we'll kind of kick off talks with this video.
Oh my God. I cannot.
Look at this raccoon in bed. And
He's
it's like, no, I want more pets, please. Oh my gosh.
That is not. That is just nuts.
Isn't it the sweetest?
Oh my gosh. He's like, I'm never going to the outside world again.
Oh my God.
I'm an inside raccoon now.
Can you even?
That's pretty cute.
I mean, it is so cute.
You guys, she's going to end up with a raccoon. She is.
But you know what's funny is that I would actually take a lemur before I would take a raccoon, and I would take a wallaby before I would take a raccoon.
There's a hierarchy.
I think in those, there's a hierarchy. If I had a quokka, oh my God, are you kidding me? I would take a quokka over everything.
A whole hierarchy of crazy with her. It's nuts.
There's just so many animals that I love, and I would be hard to decide between all of them.
It's absolutely insane. I'm not getting a raccoon, you guys. I'm not.
Well, there's going to be a talk that I want you to see, because you could so be this person.
I'm not.
And I want you to be. And I feel like there's potential for you to be. I have hope for you still. You'll see that in a second. But first, we have to remind everybody about visiting mypillow.com/chicks, using code chicks, and saving big on the 6-piece towel set right now. They're less than $30. So if you've never tried the MyPillow towels, you are missing out big time. Get them now while this deal is so good. MyPillow.com/chicks, and then use code chicks. Okay, I'm going to just play that video first. I guess he's a rancher of some sort, or at least he's an owner of a lot of property. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
And he is frustrated by his wife, who is literally me. And I feel like you could also be you can convert. I feel like you can become this woman.
Well, I figured it'd be a little longer since my last video of dumb crap my wife does, but she did it again. So let me show you.
Oh God. Is that a camel?
2.
We have camels. Unfortunately.
Where are they?
He's just in his yard, and then he starts walking because there's more. So he walks, and just it takes him a while to get to the house, but there's more.
What state are they in?
I have no idea. And now they're inside the house.
Is that the house? Oh, I love their house already.
Sarah, what are you doing?
I'm not doing anything, Cody.
Sarah.
Oh my God, there's a kangaroo.
We have a damn kangaroo.
Oh my God.
Look.
It has a diaper on it. There's a diaper on the kangaroo, you guys.
Because he's an indoor kanga.
She's like, ha. They must be in a southern state.
Did you see the camera?
Look at his face.
Sarah.
Wednesday and hump day.
Those are the camels.
Kevin? Look at Kevin.
And Kevin.
Oh, little Kevin.
Of course she named him Kevin.
She better be glad she's pretty and can cook good.
I can't cook though, you guys. So I don't think I can get a kangaroo.
I think you can.
I can do other things.
Greg
I
would
can
be
do
on
other
board.
things good. Yeah, I can do other things good besides cook.
I think Greg would be on board with a kangaroo.
He'd probably get over it. Greg is probably the one that would bring home the kangaroo. See, this is the thing about my husband. He's the one that brings the animals home. And then I'm like, what is that? And then because he's sort of the animal whisperer. So, yeah.
I just love that. I would love to have a kangaroo, which, by the way, is legal in South Carolina. So I'm not totally giving up on the idea.
Oh my God, you've checked.
Of course I've checked. It's one of 6 states, I think,
yes,
that you
Scott.
can legally have a kangaroo.
I bet you that's Oklahoma too, Scott. It seems like it's Oklahoma. Just the weather and the accent. I bet you that's Oklahoma too. Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the chick with like the unbelievably thick ponytail who was like, oh my God, my ponytail is so pretty today.
Yes,
and then
I
that
do.
other girl responded to it with like 2 strands of hair.
That'd be me. It's like 2 strands. Yeah.
So there's another one. There's another one. And this girl, God bless her. You guys, I died.
I'm having the best day ever because my ponytail looks so good today.
Oh my God.
And
I'm
she
having
said
the best day
same.
ever because
He's like, same. Mm-hmm. Same. So
I
me.
love her. I love her. Oh my God.
Oh my God. That's so great.
What's the sauce that you use in cooking, particularly like with steaks and burgers, that starts with a W that has the long name?
Worcestershire.
I cannot say that.
Is it Worcestershire? You guys can't.
You can't say
it. You can't say it, but I think it's either Worcestershire, or Worcestershire.
Yeah, I've heard like Worcester or so. I mean, I've heard so many pronunciations.
I don't know. Wash her sister sauce. I love it.
Say it. That makes it so easy.
Yeah, wash. Or somebody said Worcestershire sauce. I love wash your sister sauce.
Oh my gosh, I love that too.
I love it, Abby. That's fantastic.
Wash your sister sauce. Okay.
Wash your sister sauce. That's
Well,
I'm going with it forever.
If adults cannot be counted on to say the word, it is mean as hell to expect a toddler to.
Oh my God, I love
Can
it.
you say Worcestershire sauce?
I can't.
Try.
Kosher from kosher.
That was a good try.
I love how
first she's like, I can't. What the hell, Mom? And then she's like, all right, I'll try it. I'll try it. I'll go for it.
Oh my God.
I'm going to give it the old college try, Mom.
That's hilarious.
It's fantastic.
Also, there's a this woman's boyfriend has decided to create a song about her periods. And it's,
oh my God.
It's apparently like a metal song. And so here he is performing it.
Heavy flow down below, metallic river of blood. Anger rising in the skies above. Only hate, no love. Uterus contracting, giver of life, now produces pain. Wow! Heavy flow.
That is fantastic. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I love that. Love him. Love him so much.
God, I love that so much. I need a son-in-law that does that. Oh my gosh. We would connect immediately. I'd be like, that's awesome. Like, you need to come for Christmas all the time. I love that.
This is how I feel all the time whenever I'm petting a dog.
Is anybody else just like like you just
yes,
like you know you just
yep, I do it. I do that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You just want to like you want to like
yep. And the dog is just laying there. The dog's like, whatever, dude.
I totally know that feeling where you're just like,
oh my God, I want to eat him. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then lastly, we are going to show, thanks to We Rate Dogs, the 10 best dog Halloween costumes this year.
Yes.
Here we go.
The dogs dressed up again this year. Here are my top 10 dogs in Halloween costumes. At number 10, we have Cricket. She is a chia pet. At number 9, we have Yuria. She honestly didn't have to do much to be a sheep this year. She really thought she was going to win this competition.
Oh my God.
At number 8, we have Coda. He dressed up as an oversized vehicle. To get this sign in the US, your load has to be wider than 8.6 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty impressive. At number 7, we have this ambulance costume that actually comes with its own sound effects.
It's fantastic. Awesome.
At number 6, we have Casey Green's This Is Fine comic come to life.
At
number 5, we have Winston as Bob Ross. Winston, like his idol, has never made a mistake. If he steals your sock, that's a happy accident. At number 4, we have Luna. She's dressed as a ball pit, and she thinks that's very, very cool.
I sent that to my kids.
What are you?
I'm a ball pit.
Are you a ball pit?
I'm a ball pit.
Are you a ball pit? Oh my God.
So great.
At number 3, we have Chandler and Ernie. They dressed up as Slinky Dog from Toy Story.
Oh my God. Why do I have to be the butt?
At number 2, we have Monty. He is actively being abducted, but he seems genuinely excited to meet some new friends. I feel like the aliens wanted to be taken to our leader, and then we saw Monty, and they were like, that's gotta be him. Our number 1 dog in a Halloween costume this year is Clover, and I'm gonna let her show you what she is.
Come here. Is it? Can you show everybody what you are for Halloween? Are you a tripod?
Oh my God.
Is that not the cutest thing you've ever saw?
Cute. Oh my gosh. We actually had, and he didn't wear it for very long, but Coda was a devil and an angel at the same time.
Really?
Yeah.
Because he's cookies and cream.
We put a devil wings on him, and then you can flip them to angel wings. But he wore it for like a minute, and then he started eating it.
Yeah, my dogs cannot ever be dressed.
We tried.
They don't like it.
They
don't like it. Oh, I see. And I'm so bad at this, you guys. I'm so sorry to anybody who's watching on Locals. If you guys are watching on Locals and you give us tips, which is like the same thing as super stickers here, I'm so sorry that I forget to like look over there about that. But Puzzled 80, thank you very much for that tip. Says, when you say stuff about the polls like that, I just want to grab my Genucel and rub it on all of my WTF lines I'm getting in my face from all the stupid in this world, and the number 11 lines between my eyebrows from angry things like this guy talking like he's normal, love spending part of my day with you live, or when I put you in my pocket for later.
I love it.
Thank you so much. And thank you to everybody who has sent tips that I have not recognized. I do recognize you and see you after the fact. We appreciate you like completely. So sorry.
I love somebody
about it.
said that her daughter's friend dressed her dog up as Snoop Dogg.
Oh my gosh.
I love it. That is fantastic.
Well, some dogs have that face, right? Like that sort of houndy, like
Uh-huh.
snouty face. I love that. That's
very
perfect.
Snoop Doggy. Yeah. You guys, I have gifts today. So we're going to stick around and do some gifts because I have a lot of amazing gifts that were sent my way. Because I know Mock did some of them the other day, but I have got epic gifts to share. So we're going to do that. So do you want to bring it in? And then I can't have, I can't open the door and let Astrid in because also the cookies and cream one is here.
Right.
Because
so if you want Astrid, you're going to have to stick around for gifts.
Yeah, we got to do gifts first because Greg had to go do some stuff on a neighboring ranch. And so he couldn't take cookies and cream with him to go do the pup cup thing today. So Psycho is here. So sorry. So we're going to have to, So anyways, I'm going to do some gifts. Are we ready for some gifts?
Ready.
Okay. All right. So the other day you got some cups and I also got some cups from Tammy Bernstorff, who years ago, she gave me like a long cup and I don't have it in here with me because it's in my car. I use it like every single day. And she said she was delighted that she saw me using it a couple times on the show, but it's just a Mock and Daisy cup that she had made. And it's like,
it's a long one.
Yeah. And I don't know how she makes these, but she did the Georgia one for you the other day. It's such a cool skill. This is the Tennessee one.
I love it.
One.
Yay.
I love it so much. It has my name on it.
Oh my gosh.
And it has, I am in love with this cup, but she also made 2 of these. One has a handle and one doesn't. And it has all these pictures of me and Cash.
Oh my gosh.
Then one has a handle and it says no longer by my side, but forever in my heart.
Oh my gosh.
And one is for Greg, presumably, and one is for me. Greg started crying.
Oh my gosh.
We were so touched by this yesterday. So I mean, Tammy, I don't know how you make these. They're awesome. I love these. I use them every day. Like I have.
You should consider becoming an American Business Spotlight partner.
You really should because they're like. I mean, they're
just.
I love them every day. I use these every single day. I have put my water in my other one every single day. I'm in love with these. To be honest with you, I actually broke the top of my other one. And so I was so excited when I got this one because I can switch out my tops and use my other one. Anyway, super excited about that. Thank you so much for that. Hot Luke sent me this mug. Hot Luke. I love this. Leopard is a neutral. And I'm like, this is so cute. I just love this. I may not even drink out of this. I may put this on my desk and use it for like knickknacks.
Well, yeah, I have tons of my cups.
My
Georgia one is now.
Well,
you can't see it, but it's like right there.
Look, that was so sweet of you.
That is so sweet.
I mean, how thoughtful are you? Thank you so much. That was just darling. I love it so much. And I am a leopard girl. Okay, so that was so sweet. Thank you. And then Nancy and Tom, I got my little cutest chick ever.
Yes.
And a very sweet letter from them. So thank you for that. And then what else? I got a Starbucks gift card, a little fall Starbucks gift card. And that is from, let me make sure I get the right, from Jill. I think it's from Jill. I think the last name is Louth. I think it's Louth. And it says, we have so much fun. Those other bitches don't even know. These napkins and a Starbucks gift card. And I love that. It's so fun. So thank you so much for that.
So cute.
I love that. Okay. And then I got my box that is from, remember you got the purse card?
Yes, I love everything in that box.
Tina Kramer. We got the box full of goodies. We got like the sign, and mine is not broken. The difference between coffee and your opinion is that I asked for coffee. Mine is not broken. Mine came complete. Okay, and then I got all the stuff that you got, except for I got the shirt that says this.
Oh my gosh, perfect.
Somebody's loudmouth swim mama, which I love so much. And I got all the things you got, except for I got some onesies for Henry.
Aww.
Like I got some onesies for Henry, and then this says Hank on it, which I love.
Aww.
And then there's also in here, she did quilts.
Oh my gosh.
There's quilts. These quilts are insane. They're beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
Beautiful quilts. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Heavy, beautiful quilts. I mean, like beautiful. Right?
Look at that.
I mean, it's just that one's for Gwen. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Like
wow, they look so soft.
Right, beautiful. And then this one, hold on. This look at this, you guys. Again, I mean, I started like,
you were my favorite. Hello, and my heart is. Oh my god.
Can you even? I mean, there was a lot of crying yesterday. A lot of in our house. Okay, and then the last one I want to show you, I have to read the letter. So thank you so much for that. Like I just overwhelmed with a lot of the cash stuff and a lot of the personal stuff, like the stuff that goes to my daughter and to Hank and baby Hank and Cash. We get very we get very emotional. So thank you so much for that. This is Miss Melody sent this. I'm going to read this, okay? And it says, "Dear Henry," that's our grandson. "My name is Miss Melody, and I listen to your grandma." That's me. I'm a grandma, y'all. "Every weekday morning, along with Miss Miriam. I, alone with all the other fans of their show, were excited waiting for your arrival. I am happy that you are here and you are healthy. You are a blessed little boy to have such a wonderful family to care for you and help you grow to be a wonderful young man. I made this gift for you. I don't crochet little baby blankets. I make build a fort, drag them around, snuggle with pets, and roll them up to sleep blankets. I hope you enjoy this one. It was made with love, even though I've never met you. I hope it goes well with your room. Tell mommy it can be washed in warm water and dried on warm. Ask grandma to show you the chick I made for her office at the radio station. I thought they needed a mascot. It was like the crochet chick, and I have that over here. I thought they needed a mascot. You and your family are in my prayers every day. God bless you all, Miss Melody." And the reason I read that to you guys is because you know, it just shows you that it's so indicative of our community. I just love that. I love that is so us, you guys. It's so you guys. It's how it's this. Look at this. It's gigantic. First of all, it's like,
oh my gosh.
I can't even show you how big it is, and it's so heavy.
Beautiful.
It's so heavy, and it's just like the other ones I just showed you. Like they're heavy and beautiful, and you'd never be able to buy anything like that in stores. Like all the stuff you guys sent is like, you can't buy this stuff, you know, you can't buy it. They're all so thoughtful and beautiful. And like I said, I was like yesterday, I spent like a half hour just crying because I get so emotional about this stuff. You cannot put a price tag on the stuff that you guys make. So sentimental, so beautiful. My kids are so grateful. I would love it if I could just get all of my family in one place and have you meet them, and they'll never be able to thank you for this stuff. Like, it's just so thoughtful. I'm so grateful for all of you. And yeah, I love you guys for this. Like, I feel
like that says something good about us, that we've attracted such good people to the community. So I feel good about that. Like, I feel very proud that that is the kind of energy that we're bringing in. You know what I mean? I just love that.
Right. Right. I totally agree with you. So it's like when I say thank you, I don't know if it even does justice to how thankful I actually am, you know?
Yeah.
Because I open this stuff and I'm like, God, I don't deserve this, you know? Like, we just don't deserve this, do we? Because my gosh, I mean, you guys are just so wonderful to us and our families, and I just get very weepy. So thank you so much for all of this wonderful stuff, and just overwhelmed with gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Rubbing it all in.
I
Just
know.
rubbing it right in there.
So wonderful. And by the way, the stuff for baby Hank, we're going there this Sunday to see him. And I will take it all to him and just
it's gonna be like a pile on.
I mean, my God. So thank you guys for all the stuff. Love you so much. And
it's time for flaps.
Right. Oh, I gotta get her. So she'll flap. Let me get
you can't leave people hanging.
I think Spaz will come too. Hold on.
Okay. Yay, Spaz.
Where's your brother? Is he coming too?
It's going to be a very, very spastic dog busting in there.
Well, come here. Oh, I think Greg put Spaz in his crate.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah,
so she'll be good.
So
She'll be
she
good.
can flap. Come here. You didn't flap yesterday. You smell.
Does she have a new collar?
She has a collar that says Astrid on it. See, can you see?
Is it new?
She got it right before Cash died. We got them all collars.
There it is.
Flap, baby. So I don't know if you can see, but up behind me, oh God, you can't see it because my chair won't move. But you can see Cash's collar.
Oh yeah,
You can see it. We got them.
Yep.
Baby, you knocked my earplugs out. But you can see Cash's like hanging up there on my microphone up there.
Mhm.
Yeah, we got right before Cash passed away. We got them all new collars, and so yeah, so
she's very fancy.
She's so fancy with her pink collar.
Very, very
Yeah,
fancy.
she's very, very fancy. So yeah. So anyways, now she's gonna go.
Now
crazy.
she's gonna dig and flap and play.
Yeah.
Yay.
So anywho, yes. So you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Thanks again for everything.